My coworker called in yet again and said she had a nail on her tire that caused her to have a flat. I need everyone to stop what they're doing and zoom into the nail in the picture she sent my boss. Y'all, this nail looks so fake. But I still kind of appreciate it. Like, I can understand. Like, honestly, if a coworker of mine would do this, I would be so mad. I would literally be mad. Because why are you calling out of work that often for no reason? Like, if you do it sometimes because you literally just need a break, or you call in sick. Because at least in Germany with health insurance, you can just like do that. You don't have like limited sick days. You can do that. If it feels like you're doing it for no reason, I'm still mad. But listen, I kind of appreciate going through the effort of coming up with new excuses, but if you're gonna Photoshop a nail, you might want to do it better next time. Hello BabyQueers and welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing some me IRL. And on the note of relatability, the reason I'm wearing a hat is because my hair is a mess because it's growing. But anyways, welcome to my new apartment, I guess. Not my permanent filming space, but everything else is also still a mess because who has time for anything? But either way, you know the deal. Before we continue with the video, y'all gotta get hydrated. So grab some water or some tea, whatever else you like to drink. And then we'll continue with the memes. Are you hydrated? Good, let's go. Okay, there is only one thing girls want, and it starts with a P and ends with an S. Potatoes. Get your mind out of the gutter. Potatoes are literally so versatile. You can do a lot of things with them. And a lot of people love fries or crisps, so I'm pretty sure a lot of girls do want something that starts with a P and ends with an S. And honestly, Sam does too. And I do too. That's just how it is. Before you turn 18, you have to choose exactly one of these books to read and then never stop talking about for the rest of your life. Harry Potter, The Great Gatsby, Animal Farm, The Communist Manifesto, 1984, or the Bible. Okay, I was not told this assignment. I have probably never read any of these books. I've read parts of these books, or at least some of them. Like, I've read part of Harry Potter. I read part of The Great Gatsby, although for my school assignment I literally just watched the film and hoped it was accurate. And I've read parts of the Bible. And then left the church at some point. You know, for obvious reasons. Actually, that obvious reason is because I'm not a believer and I don't care, and I didn't want to pay money to the church every month with my taxes. So that's the reason, actually. But I feel like for a lot of people this is probably very accurate. Okay, before social media, Olive Garden, Red Lobster, Cheesecake Factory were all considered solid places to eat. Now somehow everyone hates those places. Y'all be acting for the internet. Is this some kind of US thing I'm too German to understand? Because I have not seen people talk shit about these, but then again, I'm not in the US, so I probably don't have a lot of people who would do that, because who cares? Who cares really? But I know these kinds of people that be talking shit about something, be like, no, oh god, I could never do that, that's so weird, and then do that exact thing. It has those vibes, because they probably still love going there every once in a while, because it's still like, it's a restaurant. Sure, it's like a chain restaurant, but you can expect at least a decent meal, and it's like quick and easy, so you can just like go there sometimes. I don't see the issue. But some people, like, if you go there, you can't secretly go there and publicly just be like, no, oh my god, that place is so weird, I would never eat there. It's weird. Okay, y'all argue with people who eat steaks like this? Can't, they're still chewing. This has some gatekeeping vibes. Literally, if you like your steak rare, then eat it rare. If you like it well done, eat it well done. Who cares? Literally, who cares? Like, what do I care? And why am I gonna argue with people about the way they like their food? Because I have some things about eating that are probably very particular and that other people probably think are kind of weird. Because I usually eat my food separate. People think that's weird. They're not gonna argue with me about it, because why would I argue with them about it? Because that's just how I like to eat my food. So why would I turn around and come for other people how they like their food? Like, personally, I've never eaten a steak well done, but like, who cares? Y'all, it's not that deep. It's literally just food, you know? Everyone calculating their age. Meanwhile, people born in 2000s, yeah, they have it a bit easy. They have it very easy. Same with my sister, who started first class of school in 2001. So she just had to look back and be like, okay, it is now 2010, therefore I am going into 10th grade. It's kind of simple. I was born in 98. I just have to add 2 years to that. It's also okay, but also means I'm turning 25 this year. And I don't know whether to feel old or not. Because some days I do. But then I look at other people, I'm just like, yeah, no, I think we're good. Like, 25 is not that old yet. My mom's signature versus my signature. Literally so bad. So bad. I think I don't have my library card that I got in like preschool or like first grade. I don't have that library card anymore. I think my signature's probably improved. But that's probably because it still looks like absolute shit. It looks so weird. But I have just given up on it. It's just gonna stay like that. Like, there are more important things to worry about than how your signature looks. Because as long as it always like somewhat looks the same, because it never looks exactly the same either, I think it's fine, right? Right? My brain, do it. Why? Just do it. Okay. Okay, listen. When you're sitting in class and you're just bored out of your mind, this is a very valid option, you know? Or if you're sitting in a meeting and you're just bored. Or if you're sitting anywhere and you're just bored and you have a pen. Why not? Why not? I mean, if you're like in the middle of an exam, your brain's not going to tell you to do it because your brain's too busy with the exam. Or stressing about the exam, depending on you, really. But it's fine. Come on. Having a boyfriend is great because I always have someone to gossip to, and he won't tell anyone because he wasn't listening in the first place. Okay, this one's still kind of sad though. Like, I think, especially if you have ADHD, you're probably gonna be zoned out. And even if you're neurotypical, you're probably gonna like not be paying attention sometimes. Sure, these things can happen. Like, maybe you've just had a long day, or maybe you're not fully awake yet and you're not really listening. First of all, that's okay, like, it all happens. But if it's a constant thing, y'all, that's not how you treat a partner, or even like a friend, or like anyone you care about. You don't treat them like this. You don't constantly not pay attention. What are you doing? Okay, I'm done being an expert in vaccines. This week's I'm a marine engineering specialist. Y'all, I am so confused about the whole submarine situation. I have not been getting news on anything really, because I've been moving and I didn't have time for anything really, and I'm confused. But people on the internet do be like this. They just think they can just act like they're smart and know what they're talking about. But usually what happens if they don't know what they're talking about, it becomes very obvious. It becomes very obvious, and it's kind of hilarious. Because then you can see these people who are so convinced they're right, but it just sounds completely wrong. And people who actually know anything about marine engineering, etc., would probably prove them wrong very quickly. Everyone. AI will replace designers' jobs. AI accepting that job. Maybe. But let's be honest, it's not quite there yet. It's not quite there yet if you look at these pictures. And also, can AI actually come up with like completely new original ideas? Or can it just like recycle stuff it found on the internet before? Because I feel like it could never fully replace humans because it doesn't have that human experience and perspective, obviously, as an AI, but either way, I don't think we have to worry about it yet. Okay, putting soup in a square Tupperware, it's just not right. It should be a circle one, which is the shape of soup. Yeah, actually that makes sense. Because you either eat soup out of a bowl or a round plate. And I'm aware you eat most things off a round plate, but somehow if you have like leftover pasta, even if it has like sauce, or if you have leftover vegetables or leftover meat, you can put these things in square Tupperwares. Like, that's okay. But soup? Putting soup in a square Tupperware, it just feels wrong. Alright? It just feels wrong. I once worked with someone who told customers, sorry, it's my first day, anytime they messed up, for 2 years straight. But you can't come for it. Because that is kind of genius. Some customers, and you never know which ones, because some are going to be really friendly and still be absolute assholes. And some are literally just going to be super understanding, be like, yeah, no, it's okay, of course, it's okay if you made a mistake, you know, as long as you're like polite about it and like offer to correct it, like whatever. If you worked in a cafe, if you brought them the wrong coffee and it's just like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm going to bring you the right one right away, if they correct you, that's okay. But I think it's fair to tell them it's your first day, or that you knew in general, because listen, whatever you need to do to not have to deal with other people's bullshit, really, because people like being rude, especially in like service industry, but just generally people are very good at being rude. Okay, does anyone else make up fake scenarios every night when they're trying to sleep, or do I need therapy? Maybe, because I do this too, but I'm not sure if I'm the normal you want to go off to when it comes to like a normally functioning brain. So maybe you do need therapy. Maybe we all need therapy. I don't want to go to therapy currently because honestly I've had too many bad experiences with therapists at this point. So no thanks at the moment, but you know, maybe you do need therapy. I don't know. Okay, what's the most awkward date y'all ever been on? He took me to his parents' favorite spot, which already seems kind of weird. He saw his mom there feeding strawberries to another man. He was about to confront her, but his dad came out the bathroom and sat with him and grabs the man's hand. That was the night he learned his parents like to tag team other men. Why would you take a date to a place you know your parents might be because it's their favorite place? Like, sure, if you just agree and it's just like, yeah, no, this place is like really romantic, then you either maybe want to make sure your parents aren't there because you don't want to see your parents on a date, or you just what? Like, I can kind of understand why he did that, because maybe it's really just like a beautiful romantic place, you know, maybe that's why. But I don't think he was fully prepared to find out about this. And I'm pretty sure his parents weren't fully prepared to tell him about it, because otherwise they would have before. But, well, the more you know. I remember the first time I asked my dad to sign something for me in high school. He shook his head and said, if I sign this, you're gonna have to learn how to forge my signature. If you sign it from the start, you'll be able to sign whatever you want and they'll never know. How is your dad this chill? If I were to tell, okay, I think now, since I'm a few years out of school, they probably wouldn't care anymore. But if I had like told them in school or shortly after school that I sometimes did, well, I didn't fake their signatures because all my school stuff was signed by my mom. And when I was skipping class, I signed with the signature of my dad because we have the same first letter. But since I was too young to actually legally be able to sign for anything, they didn't know what my signature looked like. So it was kind of brilliant. But if I were to tell my parents, I don't think they would love that I did that. I mean, probably right now they wouldn't care because I passed school, like I graduated, it's fine, they probably don't care anymore, but how's your dad so chill about it? But still, he has a point. Forging signatures is way harder to make it like look natural and like you just naturally signed it than just signing it yourself. Or making up a fake one for your dad. Okay, how to take care of your introvert friend. Interact and return. Literally this. Ask the introvert friend if they feel okay with hanging out. Because honestly, I have a friend who's like introvert. She's not like super shy, but she does need a lot of time on her own. So when I ask her to hang out, she knows I'm gonna be chill with it. So sometimes she's like, honestly, I can't see people right now. I just need like 24 hours of like peace and no human interaction. I was like, okay, cool. You know, if you change your mind, you know where I am, but no pressure. Like, take your time. You know, we can hang out some other time. It's fine. Literally be understanding of your introvert friends. I'm not better. I'm not actually that extroverted either. So I understand. Okay, a kid born in 2010 is now 18 years. Let that sink in. Okay, I never thought I would need to explain a basic math, but since we're here, kids born in 2010, now it's 2018. So you add the 10 to the 8, 18. Simple math. So the kid is 18 years in 2018. Simple. Okay, you're not just wrong, you're stupid. That's what? It technically would be basic math, because you know that between 2010 and 2018, 8 years have passed, because it's not a 10 anymore, it's an 18. That means 8 years have passed. If you want to make it super complicated, you can take your calculator, if you don't trust your head to do basic math, because probably you shouldn't, and just take the 2018 and subtract the 2010. Sometimes I do this with people who have like a really weird, like a 1973 birth year. Okay, 73 might be easy this year. Like 96. I'm not gonna know how old they are, so I'm gonna calculate. Because for my job, I sometimes look at like people's like passport and stuff. And sometimes I look at their birth year and look at their picture and I was like, no way. You look really young. You can't be that young. And then I calculated. But sometimes I'm so tired that I can't do it in my head because I'm not great at math. So I calculated. But at least I'm not out here confidently saying shit like this. You know? Okay, I miss how Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network only add commercials aimed at kids. I wish there was an option for that on Hulu and YouTube, like, please no more insurance or antidepressants, please only show me the latest in super soaker technology. It doesn't work like that, I'm sorry. Like, if you only watch kids videos on YouTube, or if you're on YouTube Kids, the same thing's gonna apply, because obviously these people wanna show ads that are relevant. Are they trying to exploit kids and get them to nag their parents until they buy them things? Sure, I'm not a big fan of it, but I still understand it. Because if you're a company, that's kind of your goal. But still, can we have like a button for we can still watch videos that we want to watch without age restrictions, like on YouTube or something, but still only get like kids ads? That would literally be a cool feature. Okay, I'm sitting here, I'm focused on work, I've got all these graphs. Okay, someone's sending up dragons. Wait a second, they're burning everything down. What was I thinking? Let's just get lost in Fantasyland instead. And also, don't shoot the dragons. Come on, they're just burning some graphs. It's fine. But literally, sometimes you just be zoning out like this. I like that you didn't say, okay, I zoned out, like, it's not my fault. Like, look at this creature. He's really cute, and he just wanted to entertain me, so he sent me a few dragons so I can make up this scenario. It's not my fault. Or maybe it is, because it's your imagination. But still, it feels kind of natural. But maybe that's because I have ADHD and zone out a lot. But it just feels kind of natural, you know? Animal control. What the F were you thinking? Me releasing birds at a wedding is romantic. Okay, you released ostriches. Ostriches are still birds. Okay? They're still birds. Is it a good idea to release them at the wedding? Probably not. Probably not. I think you maybe want to go for birds that can actually fly. But still, I appreciate the effort, I guess. Today's a new day. Maybe I shouldn't waste it. Hang on a moment. I hate everything. Whew, for a second there, I almost gave a shit. I mean, it's important not to lose sight of who you are. I guess trying to be optimistic here, because literally, I personally find people who are like constantly negative kind of hard to deal with and kind of like exhausting to deal with if they're constantly like talking shit about everything and everyone and always just expecting the worst. It kind of becomes very exhausting. But if you're a snail in a comic, it's cute, but if you do it as a person, I can't imagine you making your own life easier either. Like, it can't feel great for you either to constantly be having these negative thoughts. I know it's not that easy to break. Like, I'm not saying just, oh, be positive, because I know it doesn't work like that, but it can't be easy for you either. Jobs be asking me for 3 references, and I think I might start doing the same. Like, let me talk to 3 happy employees, please. Honestly, that would seem more fair. That would seem more fair. Because you're gonna bind yourself to, well, very loosely, but you're gonna start working somewhere. You want to know what it's like. And it's always easy for the employer themselves to say, oh yeah, no, the work atmosphere is super chill here, like everyone's doing very well, like we have a great like teamwork structure. It's very easy to say from the outside. But the longer you're there, the more things you start to notice, and the more things you might be annoyed with, or just think that, oh well, it's kind of the same in every company, because people just are kind of selfish sometimes. And it can get very frustrating. And sometimes it can be easier to put into perspective of, okay, maybe things really aren't so bad, but I know that can very easily be used to gaslight yourself into believing the place isn't actually bad when it probably is. But still, I think it would be fair if we do this. So if you want references, I get to have references as well. Me, a sudden wave of sadness after a completely normal day. Like I said, maybe we all need therapy, because I don't think this is normal if you have like a super well-adjusted brain. I don't think this is normal. Like, obviously sometimes things just happen. Like, even if you're like completely mentally healthy and you never had any issues with anxiety or depression or anything, this might still happen. But if it happens a lot, I feel like we probably need therapy. You know? Okay, why does time fly so slowly from 1 to 18? But once you hit 18, the time flows extremely fast, and that you can't keep up anymore since you blink once and the year has already passed. Yeah, literally, how is it already June? I was not prepared for it to be June. I don't know what year it is in my head, but it's not 2023, and it's not June, but it's super warm outside, so I know it's summer, but time just feels so unreal somehow at the moment, because everything's happening so quickly. Like, literally the month just started and it's like already the end of the month. How did that happen? Just how? How does it... Is it just gonna get worse? Because I've heard people say that the older you get, the faster time flies, because you've already like experienced a lot. Please tell me this isn't gonna keep happening. Overthinking 101. Mark all the squares with traffic lights. I hate these things for this exact reason. If you're gonna do this, at least make sure all the stuff is inside a square. Because I wouldn't want to mark the square, because I know they probably said it's not, but technically there's traffic light in the square, so technically you do need to mark it. So, do better when you make these things, at least. Our company is very employee friendly. The company. Yeah, I don't trust companies who say, oh yeah, we're super employee friendly, or we're all just like a big family here. I've never heard that said by employees about by employers about a company where it was actually true. That wasn't a complete shit show of, sure, we might all be like very friendly with each other. Or in Germany, you have like a formal way of like addressing someone and like the casual way. And just because you use the casual way doesn't mean the work atmosphere is necessarily better. Like, I do think it's more relaxed personally, but that doesn't actually help with anything. And on that note, since I also kind of have to get to work, I'm gonna leave it here. I hope you enjoyed these memes, because honestly, me IRL is always at least somewhat relatable. Maybe that's just because I like relating it to other things, and was like, okay, I don't know what you're talking about, but it kind of seems like this other thing that happened to me. Maybe that's just why. But it's me IRL, so it probably should be relatable, you know? But anyways, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're hydrated. And I will be back in 3 days with my next video.